Good morning to all Titans fans out there. Titans enter this week on a two-game losing streak, and their last week, let's admit, it was a bad game. They played against the Cincinnati Bengals defensively. They were not there. Offensively, didn't really get. They got Derrick Henry involved, but wasn't really involved as much as you would like for him to be. The result was a loss to the lowly Bengals. Bad, real bad. And some of the moves this week, the long snapper, Bo Brinkley got cut. But the big news, Big Beasley, all-season signing, they hoped for good things for him, an outside linebacker. Did not turn out that way, and they have released him. He is gone from the team. So here we are now, going into this week. The Titans will be taking on the Chicago Bears, a team that took a tough loss themselves in overtime versus the New Orleans Saints. And they will be doing so without Jadeveon Clowney. For those that haven't heard, Jadeveon Clowney has a meniscus injury, could potentially be something that has to have surgery on. Won't be there this week. Not sure for next week either. You just don't know. So that's the news for the Titans going into this week. Offensively, you would hope they would be better this week. You would hope they'd be better this week because offensively, they've got to get more into the run game and start off setting the tone there. It won't be easy against the Bears. They do have some very capable pieces. Of course, you have Mack that's there. You also have, a couple of different linebackers, most notably Raekwon Smith, uh, uh, active and very dynamic linebacker out of Georgia. So, it's going to be interesting to see. I'm getting there. Somebody asked me about Desmond King, which, for those that don't know, the Titans traded for Desmond King from the Los Angeles Chargers and brought him here. I'm going to get into Desmond King in a second. I just got to make it on offense real quick. But I got you, Rick. That's Rick Merritt that left me a question there, y'all. If you don't know, if you can't see it. But anyway, um, offensively, the Titans definitely have to get the run game going. Focus on Derrick Henry, get that going, and then everything else will work off of that. I got a question. What's the Titans' biggest weaknesses this season? Well, defense is one of them, in case you haven't watched them. I got a question from Agnostics. Okay. Yeah. The biggest issue with them defensively, they're just bad. They're opportunistic defense, but they can't really stop anybody. So that's their issue there. Offensively, I think they're probably the best they've been in a while in terms of scratch save last game. They're probably the best offensively they've been in a while, good long while. So there you go. Okay, offensively, definitely need to get things going there. Um, if they can get the run game going, then you have to get Jonnu Smith involved. Jonnu Smith has to be involved. I don't know what's going on or what happened last week. He just seemed like he was kind of involved, kind of not. AJ Brown was kind of a little off last week. I will say this: Corey Davis was good, but you need both of those guys, and along with Jonnu Smith, to be, the guys that they're capable of being. That was an issue. Of course, you have a few mishaps. You let a Bengals team get confidence. This is what happens. It is the NFL. All teams get paid. All teams are professionals, and anybody can get beat on any given Sunday. So there you have it. All right. As far as as far as Ryan Tannehill, I thought he played pretty solid, but of course he still had some issues offensively in terms of making some things happen. But the Titans, I would say for them to be effective offensively, get the ball to Derrick Henry about 20 to 25 times. That is the formula for success. I know he got 100 yards last week. Usually when he gets 100 yards, they win, but they have to get 100 yards in about 20 to 25 attempts at least. That is the best way. Oh, I got a comment from Corey Jackson, my boy, Corey. What's going on, Corey? All right, so they're going to be play with their hair on fire today, Blowout City. I would like to say that possibly that could happen, but knowing the Titans defense and knowing that they're playing without Jadeveon Clowney, don't know. I don't know if I can say they'll play with their hair on fire and blow them out. I don't know if I can say that. Um, okay, let's get to the real question defensively. First thing, Jadeveon Clowney is out. That means David Roberson probably is going to be in there. He finally gets his chance because you had Vic Beasley, you had Jadeveon Clowney, and you had Landry. That with Beasley gone, with Clowney out, now Roberson gets his chance. And for those that don't know who Roberson is a sixth round draft pick. Excuse me, he's I believe it was a sixth round draft pick. I'm not sure. It's a second season. 6'3", 250 pounds, pretty active defensively. I expect he will make some things happen. For a limited, I would say this: he'll make some things happen. Is what I can say for him. Definitely with his opportunity this year. Last year he got a few opportunities, made a few things happen. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Just going to take a look at his kind of storyboard from last year. For those who don't know, limited time last year, had 3 sacks. So he's very capable. He has the tools. Now, can he transfer it to this game? I will say this: Chicago Bears have not necessarily had the greatest offensive line in the world. So he's going to be able to have his opportunities. He's definitely going to, have a little fun today. It'll be interesting to see the matchup of the Titans outside linebackers of Landry and more than likely Roberson versus yes, I am reading the chats. Whoever is commenting, sorry, I have somebody on the Haps app. Which, by the way, if you haven't joined the Haps app, go ahead and join in. Definitely a lot of great, interesting news from all realms. From political realm to the sports realm as well. So if you haven't joined the Haps.tv, join in. I can shoot you the link if you want to join. Hey, it's fun times. You can pretty much start a broadcast like I did right here. You can shoot it all to all the different social media sites. Do it all at one time. Makes it a whole lot easier for you. But going back to the game, the outside linebackers of the Titans definitely have to be play great today. And honestly, the Chicago Bears offensive line is not that great. So you could potentially see a get healthy game from the Titans defensive line. I know they need a good game. The defense needs a good game for the Titans because I don't know if they've necessarily put together a good game all this year. Speaking on that Titans defense, they got a new addition this week. That was Mr. Desmond King. He actually passed his COVID testing. He actually will be active today. But the question is, you don't know how much he's going to be able to do. He's mostly known he can be a slot guy, playing the slot for the Titans, which is really good. Once they get Adoree back, that'll help them. Adoree Jackson, sorry. Then once they get him back, that'll be help for them as well. That'll make their defense better. You got Malcolm Butler on one side. I don't know who you have on the other side because, of course, another cut this week was Jonathan Joseph. For those that didn't see his action last week, anytime the Cincinnati Bengals needed to play, they went where he was. So, yeah, that tells you a lot. So he won't be there today. Who knows who's going to be at that corner spot today, but they will need Desmond King today. I'm guessing he'll be more in the slot. It'll be very, very imperative that Kenny Vaccaro and Kevin Byard, which are the safeties for the Tennessee Titans, best communicate to him, let him know where he's going to be, what coverages are going to be there, and make things simple for him so that way he can, acclimate and do his thing. So I think he'll be effective once he gets acclimated to the system. I'm not sure how effective he'll be today, though. The Titans defense, this game is on them today. I know a lot of people talk about Titans offense, and some people talk about they don't run the ball, they can't win, and those type of things. But this game is on the Titans defense. The Titans defense was great last year. I mean, of course, they were led by Dean Pease, which he retired, but they were great last year. They stopped them running the football. They did all different types of things to put pressure on offenses. And they did it without really having a consistent guy rushing the passer. Harold Landry was that guy last year. Although teams really didn't game plan around him. This year, they're just bad. Dean Pease retired. They have similar personnel. You'd argue they do have, in terms of talent, better pass rushers they did have this season, but it just hasn't worked out. They really are bottom of the barrel in sacks this year, and it just seems like the defense without Pease is not the same. My suggestion for the Titans, for what it's worth, I know I'm not a offensive coach or insider or anything of that nature, but what I would say, call Dean Pease. Tell him, hey, we need you as a consultant this year for this defense. We can't figure it out. Honestly, Mike Vrabel is probably trying to do too much, being the defensive coordinator, de facto defensive coordinator, and the head coach. So I think they need to call Dean Pease up. Like, look, we'll pay you X amount of dollars. You can stay at home, be safe, and we can kind of put you in via computer or anything like that, or virtually, and you can help us coach this defense and get them back to the level they were. Because you never thought one man would cost them that much, but it definitely has. And along with Jarrell Casey being gone, which was the heart and soul of that defense. What's going on, Ashley? I'm on here talking about the Titans. Ashley, they've lost 2 in a row, and they got the Chicago Bears coming to town, a game they could potentially get right with. But then again, last week, a lot of people thought the Bengals game was a get right game, and it didn't turn out that way. So, as far as the Titans, I expect offensively they'll come out. They'll put up about, I'll say they'll at least put up about 27 points today. The Bears offensively, yeah, that's what I'm saying, Ashley. Definitely. I'm not for sure either. Definitely. For those who don't know, it's Ashley Baker, who is a very, very talented, uh, very, very talented journalist herself. She has a show about nothing but sports that definitely can see on Spotify, Apple. Definitely check that out. She knows her stuff. And I will say this, though. She is the hot take queen. Yes, she is. You want a hot take and you need a hot take? Yeah, you need to holler at Ashley. And as far as the Titans putting up 27, hey, Ashley, one thing you may want to take a look at, the Titans are one of the top scoring teams in the NFL, so it's very possible for them for them to put up 27 points. But I would say, it's going to be interesting just to see 27 points. Can the Titans defense hold down the Bears offense? Which, I don't think anybody would say that at first, but if you look at the Titans' performance defensively, yes, you have to say, can they hold them down? I mean, their offense has not looked very great. I will definitely say that. The Bears, they have not really run the football well with Montgomery, and I don't know what to say about their offense. Their offense is not that great, but then again, the Titans' defense is not that great either. So we'll see. Also, I got somebody telling me, Ashley, I'm sorry, Ashley's telling me about the Bears defense allowing 27 points and they're 5th in the NFL. I get that. I definitely understand that, Ashley, but I will say, have they really faced an offense like this that kind of tries to bludgeon you with the football and then has skill guys on the outside? I'm not for sure they have. I'll give the Saints. Yeah, the Saints are definitely, they have their weapons, but if you look at Drew Brees, uh, he definitely doesn't have the arm he used to have, and Ryan Tannehill's arm is definitely better than his at this point in his career. Not saying Ryan Tannehill's better than Drew Brees overall, people. So please don't start flying off the handle on me. I'm just saying that his arm is better than Drew Brees's because honestly, has anybody seen Drew Brees really connected anything over 20 yards this year? I don't think many people have. And if it's over 20 yards, it's where Alvin Kamara's caught it and ran for more than that. But that's another story for another day. And the Titans aren't playing the Saints today. So, all right. As far as my predictions and score, Here's what I got. It's going to be a little tight game to start. I think as the Titans feed Derrick Henry down the stretch of the game, they'll pull away. They'll put up at least 27 to 30 points. The Bears offensively, they're going to show better, but they're not going to be able to pull it off. I'll say the Bears will score 24 points. I'll go 27. I'll go 27-24. It'll be a tight game. Of course, the Titans, if you've paid attention to them, they'll be up, and then what'll happen is they'll hang on to win the game, or they'll make it closer to when it needs to be. So giving them a margin over 3 would be like Christmas for a lot of Titans fans, but I'll say 27-24 or 30-24. That's going to be in that range. I'll give the Titans the win. Key guys to watch, definitely Roberson. For those that don't know, Jadeveon Clowney is going to be out. He has a meniscus injury, may potentially have to have surgery. So potentially could be out more than just this one game. So with him out and with Vic Beasley getting cut, Derek Roberson is the guy. And for those that didn't watch him play last year, imagine Harold Landry, the other guy the Titans have, who led the team in sacks last year. Those that don't know, Harold Landry led the team in sacks last year. He's an energy guy, a speed rush guy. The only question about him is how does he hold up in the run? Which I think with Big Jeffrey Simmons in there, I think he'll be just fine. He'll be just fine. So at least the Saints have a backup. Have Jameis Winston as a backup. I got sorry, I'm answering something from Mark Goldman. Yeah, I will say that the Saints do have a backup in Jameis, but I don't know. He's the only member of the 30-30 club, and that's not a ritzy club you either talk about going to or something that you want to brag about. 30 TDs and 30 interceptions. Oh boy, yikes! But yeah, definitely with the Titans today. This is a game they have to have. They have the Colts coming up. I believe that's on Thursday night. That will be a huge game for them as well because the Colts are nipping on their heels. The Titans are 2-0 in the division. They basically have the same records. So this is a huge game. Thursday is a huge game. They can start off a great week with a win right now. It's going to be on the defense today to not let the Bears get going offensively. That happens, we could be in for a wild one downtown Nashville today. If you want to, hey, drop your thoughts. You can find me on Twitter at MikePatton82. I'll be watching the game today. Probably tweet a little bit about this. I got a comment from Lion wins, which that's interesting right there when the Lions won. But anyway, Titans are about to slap the Bears. We'll see. We thought that about the Bengals last week too, and we saw what happened. So you can't really just say, "Hey, that's going to happen." As far as where you can catch me, you can catch me on Twitter at MikePatton82. You can always catch me on the good old Haps app as well. Why don't you subscribe? Why don't you sponsor me? I need money. I'm just kidding. I don't need money. But anyway, if you would just go ahead and subscribe. You can catch all my content. If you're seeing this on YouTube, you can subscribe, hit that subscribe button. If you're watching this on Facebook, just go ahead and friend me. I may actually accept it. I don't know. I don't accept it from anybody. I don't know. I'm just joking. Anyway, all right. And if you're on Twitter seeing this, just go ahead and hit the follow button. And all right, gonna hop off of here, get ready for this Titans game, and see how they do today. I'll be back after the game just to give you a heads up. Post game, I will be back for that. Definitely. So